I'm really not sure how to reply to all this because everything you've just said for like the past 3 minutes almost feels like it's a segue into the next topic, and I don't know if you've actually planned on doing that or not.
I did not, but if you want to segue into it, go for it.
Well, no, because here's the thing. All right, so you're talking about, um, serious wrestling and goofy wrestling, two polar opposite sort of mentalities being smushed together, convolution of storytelling, and then video game matches.
Mhm.
And
For our listeners there,
I'm just here drinking my tea.
what's on your cup?
Oh, this?
Yes, that.
It's just a Kingdom Hearts mug.
Oh, really? Kingdom Hearts, you say? What's
Yes,
Kingdom Hearts?
yes, Kingdom Hearts.
The key to my heart is Woody. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Never mind. That's cut. That's
Wow. Took the franchise in a whole other direction, didn't we?
so that poster you just put on camera.
Well, I mean, that's what came with the game when I got it. So, I
It's Woody
mean,
looking through a keyhole, which also doesn't sound right.
look,
Kingdom
I
Hearts
didn't
when
name
you're
the
drunk.
characters, all right? But yeah, so next story that we want to talk about is Kingdom Hearts, the widely known, very successful Disney slash Final Fantasy amalgamation game franchise, is now going to be getting its own animated series on Disney Plus.
Yes.
And I could not be more thrilled. I have been a fan of this ever since I got like a PlayStation, and I didn't know exactly what games to get for the PS2. I didn't know because it was the first time I didn't have a regular PlayStation. I had like a PS2 after never having a game console for years. And I was just trying out all these games, and then I heard about this one that's like Final Fantasy, and I'd seen people play Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8. I got the idea of it, and I heard about this and Disney. Now, my family's always been a big Disney family. We've been to Disney World, we've been to Disneyland, we're part of the Vacation Club. So to actually have these two things, I was like intrigued by it. I have been a fan of this franchise ever since, and that's even with all the extra games that they've put in between 1 and 2 and 3 that have really fucked up the storyline.
Isn't there a video out there somewhere there where someone tried to explain the story of Kingdom Hearts and they couldn't do it?
There's quite a few videos that have tried to do that, especially with Kingdom Hearts 3 having come out last January. It's one of those things where you try to make sense of all the filler that they've really done because it wasn't as bad between number 1 and number 2. But from number 2 to number 3, where it almost took like a decade plus to get this game out, and they've just thrown in a whole bunch of different little things in order to keep the franchise going. The storyline is so fucked. It is so fucked. Oh my god! Like you try to explain it to people, and unless you keep it super simple, they are going to get lost between the characters and the timelines and the different versions of villains. It's like, Jesus.
I
But
I'm, I don't even want to ask you to explain it because I know it takes like almost an hour to attempt to explain it. And
as
we don't have
simple
that
as I
time.
can make it, Goofy, Donald, and an anime character travel to different Disney themed lands fighting off shadow people.
You know what? I always kind of wonder. Do you think this was also a tie-in to get more people to go to Disney World?
I can't deny that there was probably some spread to it because, mind you, this is a franchise that came out long before they got Star Wars, long before they got Marvel. So, yeah, maybe it was something that they were using to try to drive up the animated prospects of Disney back when, in the early 2000s, let's say maybe more live action stuff like stuff from the Disney Channel was becoming more popular and the animated stuff wasn't as much of a draw.
True. Uh,
So in that sense, yeah, I think it was a good ploy by Disney to go ahead and especially something that's cross-cultural because obviously Final Fantasy is gaming. It's Japan, Asia. It's a whole other section of the world that maybe Disney isn't as prominent, at least in the fandoms. So it's a great way of like bringing everything together. But boy, did it take them way too long to do that.
It's the franchise now is like 14 years old because it came out I think in 2006, unless I'm incorrect.
Um, Roughly. I don't know about 2006 per se, but it was certainly early 2000s. I'd say if not 2006, then maybe 2004 or five.
I do remember
Uh,
listening to Simple and Clean a lot, which may have been like 2004, 2005.
okay, I'm not even going to ask you who the singer of that is, who has been the franchise singer for all the major games. She's done theme songs for all of them.
It's best you
But
don't because I don't know.
just say Utada.
Yes.
Yeah, just say Utada.
Saida?
But
Saida? Is it? Did she do that song too? In addition to Wonder Woman? Never mind.
oh God. But no, I mean, okay. Here's why I'm happy about the animated series. Because of the storyline and because of the different characters and because of the timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff that they have going on with all these things, I'm hoping the animated series is going to be the de facto timeline of everything. It's going to explain everything as properly as you can from beginning to end with maybe a couple of chops here and there, and really simplify the story so this way other people who may found it too confusing or too much can get into it.
I think that would be a great thing. I was actually even going to ask you what they're going to try to attempt with this. I've seen some franchises attempt to start something like this in the middle of the existing story. But I think for this, especially have convoluted, I've heard it become, it would be nice to start it from like the very first series, the first game, and just have it go from there.
Yeah, and I'd like to think maybe not necessarily even the first game. I'm not saying you have to start with Sora, Riku, and Kairi. I'm saying you can go all the way back to like Aqua and them from like the Birth by Sleep. You can go all the way back to the Union Cross game, the mobile game that they have, which talks about the origins of everything before all the major games. But as long as you have like a beginning, a middle, and an end to this story, and it's not, you know, unexplainable. Like if you can simplify what we've gotten in the games and make it a little bit easier to understand, I think it would be great for the franchise and may even bring about something after the fact. Because really, Kingdom Hearts 3 is supposed to be the end of the series. It's supposed to be the de facto end. But if the series goes well in the animated, you could easily build off of that and continue on somehow.
True.
And the beautiful thing of it is that since it's Disney oriented, a lot of the voice cast is going to be returning from the games to do this animated series. So you've got a lot of, longtime Disney voice actors like Bill Farmer, Jim Cummings. You've got these people that are still going to be around and still going to be able to voice their characters. And whoever they get to do the I guess Final Fantasy characters, they'll be around too. And it'll just feel like it'll be so comforting for the longtime fans, and yet because it's going to be telling the storyline properly, great for new fans too.
I'd be very interested about this, but right now it's just in development. It's just like they don't even know if it's actually going to be made.
It's just in development. If anything, you probably won't see anything from it until 2 years from now, because I think that's pretty much the length of time that we got back when they were saying that they were going to reboot DuckTales. I think it was about a 2-year gap from when they announced it to when you actually got the first episode.
Okay, I am hearing though they have been revving up animation production because they can't really do live action stuff right now. So I'm wondering,
Right, and since it's computer generated animation as opposed to hand drawn, it's going to be a heck of a lot quicker.
so it could be out sooner than later. But I guess if it's a development, things could change. The voice actors might get changed out. You never know. But I'm definitely curious. Disney Plus needs more things, as we spoke about in the last episode. So yeah, I'm interested.
But you've never played the game before, right?
This is correct. In fact, I not only have I never played the game until like 5 years into the series existing, I thought Sora was a woman.
Oh boy, jeez, that is horrible. And look, I get not playing the game, but you can't tell Sora is a boy,
No, I thought it was a tomboy
dude.
anime character.
Exactly. You're so antiquated with anime. I figured you'd be able to tell the difference when it's spiky haired.
I don't know. Most of the people that when that game came out, most of the people that were really into it around that time were female friends of mine, and that character really looked like a tomboyish woman who was hanging out with Disney characters. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
But
Because you're
but he
honest, like,
had
oh, yeah,
Goku hair.
that could be anyone. I know what there's Saiyan characters with Goku hair who are female.
Right, well, but they're Saiyans, so I mean that's just kind of like a norm.
So
But male protagonists in shonen usually have spiky hair.
I don't know. Is also CG animation back then, so maybe that threw me off as well. Yeah, it had a goofy outfit, not to be confused with Goofy, who was his partner.
No, but I mean it was very Disney oriented with the big clown shoes and everything. I get that.
But anyway, I know it's a guy now, and I know it's a very popular series. I almost kind of want to share this with a friend of mine who is a gigantic Kingdom Hearts fan, just so she could get annoyed with me and the fact that I did not know any of this stuff.
Terrible.
Hey guys, did you like what you saw in that video? Then please feel free to subscribe to us on YouTube, as well as hit that bell to get notified of future videos. And if you liked what you heard in this episode, you can actually listen to the full episode right now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean. Until next time, guys, bye-bye.